It's really great stuff. It allows you to get a nice clean satin border, nice clean patches. This is quality. It looks really good. It's not flimsy. Your customers are going to love it. So I used some of this this vinyl that I had laying around, nice holographic stuff. So we're going to take this, we're going to add some heat seal to it, and then we're going to put it on a cap. I'm using some auto caps today. Very nice quality caps. I highly suggest them. They embroider really well, and they're just great for everything. They look good. Everybody loves them. So first step, we're going to take our patch that we just sewed out, and we are going to put the heat seal backing on here. Now I'm using the Easy Heat Seal from Madeira. You can see there's adhesive on one side here, and then you have a pull-away backing on the other side. So what we're going to do is we need to take the heat seal, and we need to apply this to the back of the patch. So I'm going to slap it on there. We're going to let it sit. And I have my heat press set to 350 degrees. So we're going to hit that for about 25 seconds. This stuff does not take very long to do. A good trick that I've done over the years, I think Nate does this as well, is with the heat seal backing, you can see how much I have on this side here. I don't want to just put this right in my heat press and hit it. I'm going to get all that glue or that adhesive on the top of my heat press there. So I like to take a piece of butcher's paper. I'm going to put my patch in there, and I'm just going to fold this over on top. So what will happen here is the rest of that adhesive will get stuck to the butcher's paper, and it won't get stuck in your press. So we're going to put this in our press, and I'm just going to put this down. I'm going to hit it for about 25 seconds. Not too long. I'm using the Instapress here. We sell these on shopmelco.com. Really great press. We also have the Fusions. You can use any press that you have laying around, but I highly recommend getting a quality heat press. It just makes a whole world of difference in the long run. You want a consistent heat the whole time, and we know we'll get that from the Insta or the Hottronics. So that hit for 25 seconds. I'm going to release my platen here. I'm going to grab out my patch. We're going to pull away the parchment paper, and I'm just going to pull away this backing. So we'll pull this apart if I can get it off. That is some good adhesive. All right, we're going to pull that off, get our patch out of there. Now, you can see on the patch, we still got a little bit of that heat seal on the edges here. I don't want to press that as is because I don't want to get that heat seal on the front of my patch. We want to keep those satin stitches up in front nice and clean. What I like to do is I will just take a standard Bic lighter. Every embroiderer has one of these. And I just like to hit the edges a little bit and just tuck that in. Make sure you don't burn your hand here. That's never a good thing. We're just cleaning up these edges. So we get a nice clean front here. You could use your nippers and cut this away as well. Dealer's choice on that. Alright, we have our patch. I'm going to come over to my heat press real quick. I have this also set up to medium pressure on here. You don't need to be cranking this thing down. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on here. And I'm going to place my patch right in front. I have it set up at 350 degrees as well. Same timing. I have it set up 25 seconds. Now, when I'm placing these patches on the hats, I like to use some of this heat transfer tape. You could also use some painter's tape. A lot of people have that laying around, and maybe you don't have some of this heat transfer tape. I'm just going to take 2 pieces of that. We're going to put it right to the front of our patch here. So I got my transfer tape sitting on there. I'm going to bring it over to my hat. I'm going to place this in the center here, right where I want it. And what we will do from there, bring that platen down. Hit that for about 25 seconds. Like I said, I'm using the Madeira Easy Heat Seal backing. Really good stuff, works really well. To embroider out the patch, I was using some of that Badge Master, so you got those nice clean satin borders. This is just going to be a really great way to create those custom one-off patches that your customer's just going to love. This timer's going to go off in a minute. It's super loud and obnoxious. I apologize for that. But from there, open up the platen. I'm just going to let it cool down a little bit. It's going to be a little hot. Like I said, is this something that you would do every day? Probably not. You normally just embroider on the front of your hats. But for something like this with a specialty application with the holographic in there, it'd be a little bit tricky on the machine. This is definitely the easier route. What you can do then is you can run a whole big thing of these patches, have them laying around. When that customer comes in, say they just want the patches, awesome. You just sell them those patches. If they want hats, now you have that stockpile of patches that you can put that heat seal backing on and just adhere it right to the hats. So you're saving yourself some production time in the long run. This should be cool by now. I'm going to pull it off my hat press. I'm going to get my tape off. And as you can see, we got a nice patch on the front of that hat there. So you don't have to use patch, or you don't have to use hats. You could adhere this to anything else. So they got jerseys or anything like that. Really great option here. Really simple to do. Just great stuff. So if you have any questions on this, please comment down below and we'll be answering any of those questions. You can always email me over at applications@melco.com and I will happily help you with any questions you have with this. So adding heat seal to patches, putting them on hats, really easy, quick to do, and you got yourself a premium product here. So, all right, happy embroidering.